Ever wonder what's really happening when your eyes lock with someone else's? It feels powerful, right? Like a silent conversation is taking place. Well, you're not wrong. The psychology of eye contact, especially between men and women, is incredibly deep and fascinating. It's one of the most powerful tools in our nonverbal communication toolkit, capable of conveying everything from attraction and interest to intimidation and dominance. Let's dive into the secret language of the eyes. First, let's talk about attraction. When you're interested in someone, your pupils naturally dilate. This is an autonomic nervous system response, totally out of your control. It's a primal signal that says, "I like what I see." Ancient merchants knew this. They used to put drops of belladonna in their eyes to dilate their pupils and appear more alluring to customers. So, if you catch someone looking at you and their pupils seem a little larger, it's a pretty good sign they're feeling a connection. But it's not just about pupil size. The duration of the gaze is a huge indicator. A fleeting glance might just be a casual observation, but a sustained gaze, one that lasts for more than a couple of seconds, is a deliberate signal. For many people, holding someone's gaze for longer than the typical social norm around 3-second scan feel intense, even a little uncomfortable. But in the context of attraction, it's often a welcome sign. It says, "I see you, and I want you to see me seeing you." This brings us to the gaze and glance away maneuver. You've probably done it yourself. You make eye contact with someone you find attractive, hold it for a moment, and then coyly look down or away with a slight smile. This is a classic, almost universal flirting signal. It's a delicate balance. The initial eye contact shows interest, while looking away prevents it from feeling too aggressive or confrontational. It creates a little bit of intrigue, a little bit of a chase, inviting the other person to It's a nonverbal way of saying, "I'm interested, but I'm also a little shy or playful." Now, there are some interesting differences in how men and women often use eye contact. Research suggests that women tend to use eye contact more to create connection and build rapport. They're often more comfortable with sustained eye contact in social situations, and are more adept at reading the subtle emotional cues within another person's gaze. For women, mutual gaze is often a sign of trust and emotional intimacy. Men, on the other hand, can sometimes interpret prolonged, direct eye contact differently. In many cultures, a direct, unwavering stare between men can be seen as a challenge or a sign of aggression, a sort of dominance contest. So, when it comes to attraction, men might use a different pattern. A common one is the visual scan. A man might let his eyes briefly sweep over a woman's face and body before returning to meet her eyes. This isn't necessarily objectifying. From a psychological perspective, it's a quick, instinctual assessment of attraction and health. If he then holds her gaze, it's a clear signal of his interest. Let's break down the different types of gazes. There's the social gaze, where we look at someone in a triangular pattern between their eyes and mouth. This is friendly, non-threatening, and what we use in most everyday conversations. Then there's the intimate gaze. This is when the triangle widens to include the eyes and travels down to the chest area. It's a much more personal and suggestive gaze, one you'd reserve for someone you're genuinely attracted to. Using the intimate gaze with a stranger can come across as way too forward, but with the right person, it can create an instant spark of chemistry. What about when eye contact goes wrong? Avoiding eye contact is just as powerful as making it. If someone consistently avoids looking at you, it can signal a variety of things. Disinterest, insecurity, or even that they have something to hide. In a conversation, if someone is constantly looking away, it can make you feel like they're not listening or that they're not being genuine. It breaks the connection and can be very off-putting. However, remember, context is key. Someone who is neurodivergent, for example, might find direct eye contact overwhelming and uncomfortable, so their avoidance of it isn't a sign of disinterest at all. It's important to consider the whole person, not just one signal. Another fascinating aspect is what's called gaze cueing. This is our natural tendency to look where someone else is looking. If you're talking to someone and their eyes suddenly dart to something over your shoulder, your instinct is to turn and look too. Flirters can use this to their advantage. Imagine you're at a bar. You make eye contact with someone, then deliberately look at the empty seat next to you, and then look back at them with a smile. You've just non-verbally invited them over without saying a single word. It's a smooth, low-pressure way to initiate contact. Let's also touch on the power of the triangular gazing technique in a romantic context. This is slightly different from the social gaze. It involves looking from one of their eyes to the other eye, and then briefly down to their lips and back up to their eyes. This is an incredibly powerful signal of romantic interest and a classic precursor to a kiss. It draws attention to the mouth in a way that is subtle but unmistakably intimate. It builds anticipation and can turn a friendly moment into a deeply romantic one. But can you tell if someone is lying just by looking at their eyes? The old myth says that liars can't look you in the eye. Well, modern psychology says it's not that simple. In fact, many practiced liars will deliberately force eye contact to seem more credible. A more reliable clue might actually be a change in someone's normal blinking pattern. When people are under cognitive load or stress, like when they're trying to keep a story straight, their blink rate can either increase dramatically or slow down to an almost unnatural-looking stare. So, it's not about avoiding the gaze, but the subtle, unconscious changes that happen during it. The context of where you are also dramatically changes the meaning of eye contact. A lingering look from a stranger on a deserted street feels threatening. That same lingering look from someone across a candlelit dinner table feels romantic. The environment sets the stage for how we interpret these powerful signals. In a professional setting, steady eye contact communicates confidence and sincerity. In a romantic setting, it communicates desire and connection. So, how can you use this knowledge? First, become a better observer. Pay attention to people's eyes when you talk to them. Notice their pupils, the duration of their gaze, where they look. You'll start to pick up on a whole new layer of communication. Second, be more intentional with your own eye contact. If you want to show someone you're interested, be brave. Hold their gaze for a second longer than you normally would. Try the gaze and glance away technique. Use a warm social gaze to make people feel comfortable around you. The eyes truly are the window to the soul, or at least to our intentions and emotions. They can build bridges, create sparks, and communicate volumes without a single word being spoken. Understanding this silent language can not only improve your dating life, but can also enhance all your social interactions, making you a more perceptive and effective communicator. Thanks so much for watching and exploring the incredible world of eye contact with me today. If you found this fascinating, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into human psychology. See you in the next one.